Well, I won't have raccoon eyes. And you? Come and I'll demonstrate the most effective techniques to eliminate dark circles around the eyes and tips to avoid future occurrence. We're going to start with the exercises. And as you can see, I have a little bit of oil and I'm only going to use it at the beginning, the first exercise, okay? Because there's going to be a walkthrough of what we're going to do. See, important, when are we going to do it? Always in the morning. We're going to start it and we're going to start with lymphatic drainage. I'm going to start by putting 2 little fingers and a little bit of oil. Okay, right here. Always the oil, but that doesn't drip, okay? And we are going to start there. Careful, we're going to go near the tear trough. So here, this is the tear trough. Here, this is the tear trough, a little bit below, okay? Where the nose starts to open up a little bit. And we are going to go down through the bone, under the bone, okay? Here we are going to join the other finger and we are going to go a little bit up, stretching towards the temples. We will perform this action for around 60 seconds to increase accuracy. As you can see, I'm not doing it very fast. What I'm doing is a little bit of pressure. But then while I'm at it, I'm going to do it, okay? Spreading a little bit more. As I have the oil, spreading a little bit more without overdoing the oil, otherwise we may have problems. All right, for the first exercise, let's focus on toning up and slightly reducing that swelling we have and mobilize. Important with the exercises, be careful because the skin is very thin and delicate. It's very thin and delicate. But these exercises, in principle, that's why we put a little bit of oil at the beginning. Let's go with the second one now, okay? Let's start. The tear trough is here, so a little bit higher, and we are going to bring the fingers up to the eyebrows, okay? This is an exercise mainly to mobilize circulation. All right? And also to avoid general redness, the sensation, the raccoon eyes in principle, we think that they are only here, but it is working. But I say this in case you ask me, or you think, hey Ruben, but what are you doing working the eyebrows now? That's why, right? Now to activate circulation, so I place myself here a little bit above, okay? The tear trough, I'm going to start here from the inside, pressing, but carefully. I'm going to reach up to, let's say, the cusp. Let's say the cusp. Then I pull a little bit from the eyebrows upwards and then I follow the path of the eyebrows up to the temples. And how many times do I do this, Ruben? Well, I do it 10 times, okay? I do the same. I place here again. Now it's the point where I have to go upwards. And here towards the temples and stretch a little bit, okay? To mobilize. That would be the second exercise. Before we go on with the exercises, let me explain to you what raccoon eyes are. Raccoon eyes in principle occur in the whole area of the eyes. A feeling of redness, okay? Like you have a stripe here, well, it says it in the word, right? Raccoon eyes too, that's clear. But why do raccoon eyes come? Well, there can be quite a few things. It's usually an accumulation of fluids, blood. Even, well, it's possible that these symptoms could indicate allergies, maybe even a reaction to certain foods. On the other hand, clinically, there may be underlying factors. Please provide specific text to be reformulated in your request. Thank you. Something anemic? The condition can be attributed to either kidney problems or fluid retention. Therefore, it is crucial to focus on the specific area and understand the underlying cause. Let's proceed with exercises to enhance muscular tone, shall we? Personally, I engage in such activities not just because I enjoy them, which I do, but primarily due to this importance. Now, let's commence the workout. Take a look of the V, okay? We are going to place it here first, right? Where am I going to place it? Well, obviously inside the eye, right? As close to the nose as possible, okay? Without going into the tear duct. But what we're going to do is we're going to stretch a little bit here, okay? We can do it with both if you can. If not, one and then the other. Remember that we are going to do it 10 times. And the most important thing about this, which is an exercise to tone up, that is to say, to work also the strength of that part, is that the eyelid down there is the one that has to try to go upwards. So the more tension you create here, that is to say, you stretch the skin a little bit more, right? You're going to feel it a little bit more, huh? I stretch it a little bit there and upwards, okay? Like putting a little bit of pressure from the lower eyelids. Is it hard for you to do it 10 times? Ruben, it's very hard for me to do it 10 times in a row. Well, you do it 5, you do it another 5. Okay? It's okay, but it's important that you do it and that you notice it too. So we continue with the V, but in this case, instead of here, let's do it here, okay? Then see how I'm going to place it here and we're going to stretch a little bit, okay? We stretch here, and what we do is repeat, okay? And we're going to try it upwards as well. But here, we're going to do it faster, and we're going to blink our eyes, okay? About 15 times approximately. Watch as if it were a photo or video click, okay? Okay, like when you have a flash. Now that feeling of when you have a flash and it comes like that, but what's important is to tense and stretch the area there, right? Like opening your eyes wider, and while you're getting this sensation. Okay, what for? To tone up, to work the musculature, so that this also pumps when working, that is to say, so that the blood moves more as well. And we finish with the last exercises to relax the area and also to mobilize a little bit. Okay? Look, with the little fingers, index fingers. Okay? We are going to place ourselves, well, this is the lacrimal, a little bit below the lacrimal. Okay? Where the flaps start, right there, where the flaps start. I'm going to ask you a little bit of pressure on the side. Okay? Maybe about 10 times approximately. And then, okay? That would be one exercise. Let's join it with another one. That you can imagine what it is, but if you can't imagine it, I'll tell you, which is this. And we are going to put our fingers together, and we are going to take it all around. We go back to the place again. Index. We do 10 again. We go back to the place with all the fingers and upwards to the temples until we reach the eyebrows, okay? Listen, Ruben, it's hard for me. Well, as we have done before, a little bit of oil poured, being careful not to get inside, and remember, pressure and then mobilization. To finish, well, look. Oh, you can do it in two ways. This exercise that I'm going to tell you last, right? You can start it here. Okay? Normally, I would advise you to do these three, okay? Why? Because all four are going to be a little bit tricky. But start here and stretch a little bit, okay? Underneath the bone, I mean start on top, but then underneath, okay? And mobilize a little bit. Hey Ruben, I must admit that it really bothers me when people crack their knuckles. Although I understand that it can be a beneficial exercise to improve joint mobility, I find it difficult to listen when someone does it. It feels like my fingers are being squeezed or bunched up, even though I don't experience it directly. It's just something that disturbs me. Here. Well, let's do it with tapping. So if that's more difficult for you, you can do it here perfectly well, okay? Two little fingers and open, okay? It's about opening a little bit, and it's about mobilizing at the end of the day. Right? And if not, like we have done here. Those would be the exercises that are going to be great for you. Let's go with tapping. Tapping, let's start. So we take the oil that we have here, right? Little fingers. See, if you do it with two, and do a little bit here, okay? Gather here. Let's begin at a slower pace, progressing from the innermost to the outermost, all right? You see that the bones are more or less here, so get down right there and start here. Hit like you're doing like this. T, like a kitten almost, Like a kitten, start here. Softly. Two little fingers, and pay attention, because we are going to come back and we are going to take three little fingers now, so we have to fill a little bit of oil. Careful with the eyes, attention. Okay? Here and here we are going to repeat. Here. We are going to activate circulation. We are going to train a little bit. Always from the inside out, And how long are we going to do this? Well, if you follow me a little bit, you will see how good it feels. For 1 minute, okay? First tapping. This would be it. And what are the other benefits? We're going to remove fine wrinkles, and we're going to wake up the skin in the morning. The bugs are the result of fluid accumulation in the tissue surrounding the eyes. There are numerous reasons why they may appear, including fluid retention, the process of aging, the lack of sufficient sleep, and high levels of stress. It can be a sign of problems with blood or lymphatic circulation, and even with the kidneys. The skin beneath the eyes is characterized by its thinness and sensitivity, leading to enhanced visibility of any puffiness. Its responsibility lies in maintaining the body's fluid balance. We will now demonstrate this to you. How to get rid of it. Second tapping, what are we going to do? Well, notice, we're going to do it with two little fingers. We start the same way, okay? And also from the internal to the external, okay? Notice that here is the bone. So we are going a little bit lower and almost pressing where the bone is. We never put the eyes inside, never inside. Never here, always under or around the bone, okay? and we start here. Right? Let's increase the pressure to assess my progress. See how I am handling it. We also enhance the elasticity of the skin, thereby improving an additional benefit. Okay? We also activate microcirculation of the skin. Tapping. Outward, same path, different intensity, a little bit stronger and a little bit more next to the fingers. This would be the second one. Third part of the tapping we are going to do, in this case what we are going to start is, here look, we are going to raise the eyebrows a little bit. We are going to work with the index fingers, okay? You have run out of oil, well, you take a little bit of oil with one little finger, okay? And then with the other you fill in a little bit. Be careful that they don't fall out here. Stretch the eyebrows a little bit and just pupil line. Be careful not to have too much oil here, eye, and here, okay? Let's stroke a little bit, always with the eyebrows upwards, eh? Here. This is going to be about 30 seconds, as if we were pointing with the finger, okay? Finger, right? We're here for a little while. But Ruben, what is our purpose for doing this? Our work focuses on studying the microcirculation around the eye, which means our efforts will have an impact on the lower part as well. This explains why we are conducting this study, doesn't it? And then above the eyebrow, which by the way is also an acupuncture point, here we are going to hit a little bit more. Why? Well, because it is not so. It is not so, okay? We can hit the skin a little bit more there, okay? And in total, how long are we going to be doing this? It's also quite relaxing, huh? Well, just a little bit, okay? And this would be the end of the tapping. But let's go now to the draining. Lymphatic drainage massage. How are we going to do it? Well, it's very easy and it's very relaxing. Let's start here, okay? Tips of the nose, eh? Before going inside, watch out. Here, okay? Okay. 2 little fingers will do, at least at the beginning. Right. Well, look, we're going to go down the cheeks, under the bone, and from here to the temples. Okay? And now we start with the 2 fingers. First try one, and the second one with both. Notice that it's here and from the flaps of the nose. We're going down under the bone to the temples, following the whole path of the bone, and we go back again. We hit it. Okay? This is going to deflate the face. That's why it's draining. We are draining the fluids from the face. And we are going to... I'll repeat it about 10 times. You will see how nice it is and how well you go out in the street like this. And as it could not be missing, in this case, to deflate, we are going to use some spoons. Cold spoons, of course, eh? Remember the night before? Can you please put the spoon inside the fridge? It will be useful later. In principle, I already have the oil. If not, I would have to pour a little bit of oil here first, or dip the spoon a little bit always. Here, right? And start working. Let's begin. You'll know it soon. You're going to know it right away, because the massage is very similar. But now with the cold, it's going to deflate all that part, huh? We start here, not down here. Not up here, in the middle, okay? And from here, watch how I hold my fingers, okay? Let's see how you're holding it. Thumbs in. Okay, the other 4 here. And let's stretch a little bit, okay? Right here. Perfect, towards the temples, right? Pressing a medium pressure. It is not necessary to press too much, but a medium pressure. And let's feel the coolness a little bit, right? So that you can feel it already since the morning. Well, 10 times. And we are activating and reducing those eye bags. Oh, bags under the eyes. Attention, I'm going with the best massage. Watch out. Check out. Oh, where we are going, 2 bladder massages, okay? Bamboo point also, okay? It kind of moves a little, doesn't it? So follow me here. Follow me here. Watch what I'm doing. Well, I follow with my fingers. Instead of putting you in for the eye, I follow a little bit here. Boom. And when it's coming up, okay? Make a little circle. There, like pulling up. There we place ourselves without pressing too much, okay? Close your eye a little bit. And there. Continuously moving upwards while creating small circular motions. Right? Inside and outside, the important thing is to mobilize that area a little bit. Right? You can stay there for about 20-30 seconds. And then look at what we are going to do. We are now going to include this massage. Oh, what? This massage. Oh, how nice. Around the whole eye, we go back up. Be careful with the tear duct. Be careful not to put your finger in your eye. We keep doing this movement. And notice that we are through the whole eye bone. without going inside. But here, huh? We are currently performing a massage to activate that entire area. So if you finish with this massage, great, because you come out already without bags, huh? I genuinely hope you had a great time enjoying the tapping, the draining, the knitting, the teaspoons, everything that we've been working on to remove the bareback. And well, you know, as always, I received your subscription, so now you have the bell you like until the healing and beyond.